This meditation is for relaxing the body and the mind. If you have Parkinson's, scoliosis, stress, or other physical or emotional symptoms, relaxation can help to increase the level of oxygen, increase the level of critical thinking skills, and relax the mind, and then help more blood to flow throughout the physical body so there's less pain or trouble with mobility. In this meditation, we will first move and then rest, and then come out of our deep rest with some stretching. So there's 3 parts. And to remember it, you can think of a caterpillar, a cocoon, and a butterfly. This is offered quickly in this video, and please practice along as we describe the practice, but it's meant to be enjoyed at a longer time of rest, where you can really relax your mind and body and spend a half an hour or an hour in this meditation. It's okay if you only have 10 minutes, but you may want to try this before bed so that you have time to really fall asleep and go into a deep rest. The first part of this meditation is to go ahead and move. Most people don't like meditation, or they don't think they can meditate because they feel like they have to sit still. So I'm going to encourage you right now to wiggle your fingers and toes, to stretch your arms and legs, and to create some kind of a sway or an undulation with your back and your spine as you take some deeper breaths. So in this movement, we can also create it or receive movement by using the sound vibration, mem. So I'm going to M, and then if you also want, you can E, and then M, M-E-M, mem. And I can use that sound to help my body to relax, to create some movement, maybe a sway like a leaf on a tree, or a wave like the ocean, and just allow myself to get all of my wiggles out before I go into my deep rest. This is what it might sound like. You can watch, and then you can try it again with me a few times. Breathing, relaxing, softening, maybe closing eyes. Taking time to just breathe normally and relax, and notice if there's any movement that's just naturally happening throughout the body, anything at all, stretching, swaying, wiggles. Taking time to breathe and try the sound again. Noticing how that feels on your brain, your eyes, your body, and allowing for any kind of gentle movement, stretches, breath. At this time, you may want your eyes closed because your attention is going internally. Your focus is to observe the breathing patterns, to observe the sensations in the body, to observe the movement or the stretch that's coming naturally out of the sound vibration. So that is part 1. And you might enjoy that for a half an hour or longer. You can also practice this laying on your back, where you can really roll around and stretch, or laying on your side or belly. The second part of the practice is a deep relaxation, where we might let our arms and legs cross and sink heavy into the chair, the floor, or whatever we're leaning on, letting our eyes close and going into a very deep rest. I'm going to come back to that. But the breath we will use in part 2 is a long extended inhale and a long, soft, extended exhale, moving through the nose. And you might even hear the sound of your breathing very soft, like the wind. So try that breath now with a very soft, long inhale and exhale. And as you do, notice how your mind, your brain feels. Notice how your chest feels, your spine, your feet. So when we practice part 2, that is a time where you might fall asleep. You might want to curl into a little ball and really rest. To come out of that practice, we'll do part 3. And I'm going to show you that part and focus on it first, because when you're in a deep rest, you might have this thought or worry that you can't move. Sometimes the body is so deeply rested that it doesn't, it's hard to feel the bones and muscles, the structure of the body. And you're feeling more the liquid form of the body, the space in the body, the breath in the body. And since you're connected to a different part of the body, it can feel, you can have this thought, this worry that it's hard to move. So to come out of that, you might start with very tiny movements in like the fingers and the toes. And you might practice unzipping the sleeping bag or opening the cocoon that you're in. So when you're in that deep rest, it can feel like you're in a cocoon or a sleeping bag. And when you want to come out, you can take your hand and let it drip down your face, your chest, all the way reaching towards your feet. And as you do so, imagine you're unzipping this sleeping bag or this cocoon. You're breaking out of this cocoon gently and slowly. And it may take a long time. You might have to wait until the body is ready to open and come out of the meditation. When you do that unzipping motion, you can try a different sound. So the sound can be like the letter S or TH. And you'll let the wind or the air come through the teeth with the tongue resting right behind the teeth. As you exhale gently and softly with the S or TH sound, again, it's a long, soft exhale. You'll have to breathe normally again to gather your breath into your body and notice how that feels. And when you're ready, try this with me. It's just an S or TH, kind of listening to the sound, much like the wind. And when you try that sound, notice how your brain feels, your mind feels. If it feels more awake or more asleep, noticing in the body. And then you'll try that practice with the hand moving down the seam of the body, the midline of the body, imagining you're unzipping that cocoon or sleeping bag. You can reach all the way down towards your toes. As you unzip that motion, you might then find yourself needing to just pause. And when it feels natural, you might want to open with some big reaching stretches through the arms and legs. So that would be more of the symbol of the butterfly emerging from the cocoon. stretching. That feels wonderful to practice if you're laying down on your back. It's a nice way to practice that. Then you can really reach out with your arms and legs like a starfish or a butterfly wings. I'm going to return to part 2 before we end this video so that you can think more about your resting. When you're in your idea of a sleeping bag or your deep meditation or your rest or your cocoon, you may want to cross your arms or your ankles, your legs, kind of close yourself in and feel that hug of your hands or your feet touching each other. And you want to be supported so that you could lean against a wall, rest down heavy into the seat of your chair, lay on a bed, lay on the ground or the floor, and you'll be supported. And you're concentrating on that feeling of support so that everything else in your body can rest. So a good example in nature of this deep rest is when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon. The entire caterpillar becomes like jello, it dissolves. And in our bodies, we are very liquid and we have a lot of space in every cell. So inside our body is not fully structured as we often think of it. It is actually full of space and soft moving liquid. And when we can connect to that idea of dissolve and liquid and soft and resting on the ground deeply, it can allow for oxygen to distribute through our system, through our brain and our body, really helping and nourishing our system. It can allow for more blood flow and healing to occur. Now, of course, if you just try this once, it may not help you in the way that you would like. You may want to try this weekly, maybe once a week for a month. It's suggested that you write down some notes at the end of each practice, maybe the date and the time you tried it, and what you experienced in your body, in your emotions, in your thoughts as you were practicing. And try it each week for a month and see if it's useful to you. So again, a deep rest where you would keep your eyes closed and you go into your meditation and you'd feel that deeply, sinking heavy into your support, allowing your breath to move slowly in and out of your nose. A long, extended, slow, gentle inhale and exhale. This is a practice of continuum movement. Dr. Andrew Weil also recommends this type of breathing for health, mental and physical health. So it's a slow, soft, lengthened inhale and exhale through the nose when you're in your cocoon, and then allowing any breath to happen. Taking pause and not forcing that long breath, but allowing anything to happen, even rolling on a side, curling in, resting and falling asleep. And to get out of this, for the third part, again, moving your hand like a zipper, maybe starting with very tiny, small little wiggles to get started. And when you're ready, opening that cocoon with the theta STH sound. Resting and pausing, noticing how that is, and then stretching out your big arms and legs. Stretch. If you'd like more of these practices, you can participate in my classes or individual appointments with me through my website, creativehealingmovement.com. Or you can look at the Continuum Teachers website for Continuum Teachers.